Okay, so we're back for doing some work on the planning web application that I started on the previous video. So let's get into it. So that's where we left off. We have a calendar able to show a given month of a given year with the right days and all. So, and we have the code here. So, we obviously need to work a little more on the calendar, maybe just adding the name of the days at the top here would be great. And maybe after that we'll get to work on the actually setting which shift is done on every day in the calendar. So that's what the X's here are for. They're just a placeholder for the shift symbol. So usually the shifts have a symbol for or a short name. For example, M1 is for doing the morning, and S1 is for doing the afternoon, because S is the word, the first letter of the word for afternoon. So, well, anyways, so that's that. So let's just add for now the name of the days on the calendar. So the month. So should it be in the month component? Yeah, it should. So here I just need to add a loop. Can I do this? Just here at for because that's a day, so I need to add a div. So because that's not a day, but it needs to be a div with this. So let's see. Yeah, so and we'll have here a, how can I do an array? Maybe if, okay, can I just do this? So it should be, so that's French. That's the French words for the days of the week. So do I, maybe I'll just, do I do only the first three letters? Yeah, for now I'll do that. Let's see how that works. So that's and dimanche. Yeah. So I don't know that will work. Maybe I'll need to declare a vec for this, but let's see. Or maybe I can do tuple. Let's write it like that for now, but I have absolutely no idea which one will work. I get an iterator, so intuiter, or can I just map on this on a tuple? Let's see. So let's say we can map on it, but I doubt that, and I want it to so day, or maybe name. I want to get an HTML with a div. So it should be like this. Let's see. It should be just like this. Okay, Oh, yeah. So that and here. Yeah. And here I want these classes. I don't need a paragraph for that, I think. And let's just set the name here. So obviously that doesn't work. Yeah, map name. So here I need to end the map. How's that? So this, oh no, so it's after this brace. Yeah. How does that work? Unclose the limiter. Yeah, here. So static string is not an iterator. So how can I get an iterator from that? I think I can just do into. Oh. I think I can just do into iter. No, I can't. I can't. So in this case, is there? I can't remember if there is a syntax for declaring an array like this. Maybe that's better. Let's see. Oh, that seems to be better. Yeah. Great. Wonderful. Yeah, that's fantastic. Let's set those in bold so we can differentiate them from the day numbers. So how do we do that? Here I can set, so what's maybe text bold. That's the fun game of guessing Tailwind classes. Let's see, Tailwind bold text font weight font bold. Yeah, font bold. Yeah, that's better. So now we can see, now we have a real calendar. Maybe we can push it a little more and show the date. Yeah, why not? I'll just add an indicator here. So let's try and make the year and the month a part of the state of the app, because that's what it is. So is it use state? Use state. And I think it's a closure for setting the default. It's been quite a while since I've used use, so I have to remember how all this works. But I think that is, yeah. So let's set it manually to January 24 for now. And can I get this to work like that, or do I need to, because it's not really a variable per se, it's a bit more complicated than that. Yeah, so I need to set it here, and what is it already? Do I have to, no, that's not, do I have to dereference it? Yeah, I think that works because it uses dref to give you the inner value, something like that. So you still have to dref it. Great. And now we can show it like this. Do I need to use format here? Yeah, maybe I use format because if I don't, I need to declare multiple. Yeah, I need to declare multiple literals next to each other. That would not be great. So let's use format here, year, or let's set the month before. So even that, will that work like this? No. Oh no, not that. Yeah. And it doesn't implement display. So can I deref? No, not directly like that. So let's do it like this: month and year. What the hell am I doing? Okay. Great. Let's do padding on the month. So 0, 0, 2. Yeah. And let's set padding on the year also, because maybe if we want to set some planning in the first January of the first year. Okay. Well. Did it work? I didn't see it change. Did it change? Is it me hallucinating? Oh yeah, it changed. Okay, so that's great. I can show the calendar for the first January of the January 1, I guess. Okay, let's get back to 2024. No. Okay, so now that we show a little more information, let's commit this first. So git status I add I commit, and that is a feature of the client. Show day names and current month. Great, so that's committed. And now let's try and work on something a little more interesting. So as I said, I need to what I want to do is to have here, I guess, yeah, right under the calendar here, I want to have some buttons. So it's like painting the days with a color palette. So the color palette represents the different shifts, the different how could I call them, because they're just what's a time slot? Yeah, thanks. Conventionally defined time interval in a schedule. So maybe that's a great word. a time when something can happen or is planned to happen, especially when it is one of several possible times. Yeah, so I like that. So let's say time slot. So a time slot is just saying that the work will happen from a certain day, will begin on a certain hour of the day and end on another and end sometime later on this day. So I need to have all the possible time slots here, and I need to be able to click on the different days of the calendar to say to tell, for example, on this day I work on this time slot, and that is configured to be from a certain time to a certain time. But for now, I don't need to focus on the fact that on the times, on the beginning and end times of the time slot. I just need to say I just need to give names and show a list of all the time slots I have here. So that should be let's keep it simple. That should be a state of the app, obviously, because if I add a new time slot, a new possible time slot, if I add a new possible time slot, I want the app to refresh to show this new time slot, and I think that's where you should keep state in general, your app state in general. So, but I'm wondering if time slot is really an appropriate name for this bit. So that's obviously the naming things problem, but because a time slot is, I figure it's like in a cinema where you, so that's the example the definition gave. A film can either be on the first, the second, the time slot, the 9 p.m. time slot, but here they overlap. So the different time slots overlap. Well, I guess it's not that bad. Yeah, let's call it that for now. Let alone that I will have to name it in French too for it to show, because obviously the application is going to be in French, so I have to find an appropriate name for it in French also. So, well, let's call it time slots for now. I don't think it matters too much, and so that's a state, and that is a vec, and for now I'll just set it to a vec of strings. So we have from memory, I'm making it from memory, let's say M1, S1, and let's say M2. I don't think that my memory is great on this, but that doesn't matter. I just have to do something for now. Okay, and now for time slots, the iter, because that's a vec. Oh no, but I need to deref it. I hope that's how I should do it. Maybe I should check a YouTube tutorial on this, because how is it done here? Yeah, it's I think that's how you do it. Here on click, yeah, but on click is just it's a closure, so that doesn't matter. But for the counter, for the state, it's a deref counter for you to use it and to update it. So let's say timeslot.iter.map, and again for this I I don't know that it's the best way to do it, but where I see this HTML, I guess, and lists. So there's this and this, but the thing that's ugly here is to have to call the macro here. So doing a map, so a map, and that's the time slot name, let's say. So we have to do a map and call the HTML macro here, but I don't think there's a way around this. So each of the time slots will be a button, and obviously this will be the name, and we close the button here, and as before, that's how you close it. So now we should have 3 more buttons under the calendar. That's not how I saw it. Map slice. Let's show the full error. Could not compile. Yeah, no, cannot be the reference because I need to put this between parentheses, I guess. Yeah, great. These are buttons. Okay, Tailwind. How do you style a button? Build buttons? Well, yeah. So I need to set a background, I guess, or at least a border. No, let's set a background because in the end I'll have each of the time slots have a specific color, so that we can differentiate them better on the calendar. So let's say let's set a background color on the oh yeah. So these are, let's say that for now. But yeah, in the end I'm gonna have to set a different color for each of them. So button class equals classes, and we have this for now. So we have a background color. We need some padding too. I think that's the main problem here. We need some padding. So how do you do padding? I think it's P, and then you set a number before after that. Yeah. We'll need to set them in a div too. Yeah. Let's group them in a div, and this div will be a flex with a gap of 4, so we can set there's some space between each button. I could set a margin on each button, but no, I prefer just doing a div. Either way, they'll have to be in their own div in the end. So let's do it like this. Yeah, great. Maybe do well, I like to have a little more padding. So on the sides of the buttons. So let's do P. Is it PX or PX? Let's say 4, and PY2. Is it this way? No. So let's see, padding. Yeah, so just remove these. And then we should have, yeah, great. Great. Let's let's make them rounded. I was thinking about the fact that in the current application she's using, they're usually represented as circles. The time slots are circles and the text is inside the circle. Here it's just a rounded, but I saw here pill buttons. I like this. So it's rounded full. Let's say rounded full. I think that should look great. But again, for now, I should not focus on the looks too much. But yeah, I like this. Maybe a little less gap here, and that'll do for now. Okay. So now let's see if let's find a way to select a time slot. So select let's call it selected time slot, and yeah, it's a state too. Use state, and we'll say I think it should be an option. Yeah, it should be an option. Obviously that's an option and a string on this. No, maybe this and none, because the selected time slot will either be none if none is selected, because we that would mean that we're I know that would mean, because we need to find a way to erase an incorrect time slot. So if you just want to remove a time slot on a day because it will change, or you've made a mistake, then you deselect the time slots, or maybe we'll add a button that sets the selected time slot to none, or you have some and the name of the time slot here, because so that then in the representation of the time slots on the calendar, we'll just we'll have an option. So it will be an option string for the time slot. That is well, I have a hard time speaking. I really have a hard time explaining what I'm thinking about. So I'll just get on. So we need to define an on-click handler. But how do we know that which time slot is on this the button that was clicked? Maybe we'll just call it yeah, but then okay. Let's say on click, and we'll need to, because as we can see here, so where was it? Yeah, there. Here, when you make a function a callback, you have this structure. So you define a block, a scope here with parentheses, and you clone the states that you're going to update. And then, oh no, so that's how it's set. Okay. It's not the dereferenced that sets it, it's there's a set method. Okay, so yeah, you clone the states that you're going to need, so that you can move them into the closure, the actual closure, because the states are just shared references. So, well, reference counted, they are RC inside. So you can clone them and pass them around in closures. So there's the time slot here. You will need to use the selected time slot. So let's say selected time slot equals selected time slot dot clone. And then we'll define the closure. So move, and inside, so the closure is given the element, the target element, just as in regular JavaScript, I think. So maybe I could use that to my advantage, but I think it would be. Oh no, it's not the target element; it's the event. But that's the same thing, unless. No, I don't think I can. Yeah, so I wonder how can I, or maybe so then I need to define a closure for each of the buttons. No, that would be a mouthful. But maybe if I break each button into its own component. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that will work. So, because when I click on a time slot button here, I need to know which time slot this button corresponds to. And for now, if I just set an onClick handler on a button, I will not see which. I will not have the information, or I guess I have it, but it's not in an easy way. I need to go inside get the target element, which would be this button, and get the inner HTML or the inner text for it. So that would be unnecessarily complicated. And if I need to modify the HTML, I would need to modify this handler too. So that would be a problem. So I guess an easy way to fix that and to have the information of which time slot I need to use is an easy way to do that would be to have a different handler for each of the buttons. But then, but in the current way the code is written, it would be a problem. But I guess it would also mean that you have a handful of closures in memory. If I do this for memory is not a problem for now, but maybe that's not the best way to do it. Let's see callbacks. How do you do this? So there's a callback. You can emit. Yeah, but yeah, passing callbacks, DOM events. Yeah, callbacks are also used to hook into DOM events. For example, right here we define a callback that will be called when the user clicks the button. So you have onClick. You can use this, but this parameter is the event. And I don't really have a way to... pass information to this callback, do I? Or... yeah, either way, that'll mean that I'll have a callback for each button, so that doesn't change anything. let's see. Let's Google it for a bit to see if I find a better solution. If I don't find anything, I'll do what I thought of in the first place. Pass information to an on-click handler. Yeah, this. You can do the following. Yeah. Okay, so you can emit with this. Yeah, maybe that's better. Okay, that's what I was missing. Yeah, let's do this instead. Maybe in the end it'll be easier to. Maybe I'll change it to what I thought of before, because I'll separate these buttons into their own components. But for now, I don't want to have to. I want to keep it a little simple, and not have too much. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what he was doing. Okay. There's a missing parentheses here. Well, but so I define a callback, getting an, let's call it an ID, but it's not really an ID for now, because yeah, well, when I will what when I'll change maybe in the future I will change these to be, well, in the end I will change these to be structures, because I'll need to have the begin time and the end time. So I will change these to be structures, and maybe then I'll have the ID as an integer, and this will just be a string property of the struct, and not be the ID, because that means we can change it. So I'm still wondering if this would need to be changed in the future or not. I'm also wondering about versioning, because sometimes the planning changes and these names mean different time slots. So do I incorporate that in saying that from a certain date to a certain date, this means such time slot, but after a certain date it means a new time slot. So that would mean that would let me do some kind of versioning on the time slots, if in case the planning changes and these names change meaning. But that's too complicated for now. So let's just keep on with this callback. So the callback will not receive the event, but I don't care. I just need the ID, which is the string, and let's set selected time slot to be this ID. And it'll need to be some ID. Oh, okay, let's do that. Let's do this for now. No, not. Yeah. No, this will never work. I need this to be a string, because I need this to be its own string, or else the references will be a hell to manage. So yeah, for now let's just set the time slot for this, and we can say, should I do this? Yeah, why not? And we'll set onClick to be onClick.emit with the name. Whoa, yeah. No method name. Okay, so I need this to explicitly be a callback. navigator, use navigator. So let's just say, oh, let's just wrap this in a callback from. So let's say this is a callback from a closure. So this is that. This is a callback. Expected an fn mouse event. Closure. Yeah. That's what I thought. Oh no, it needs to be in a closure. Okay. Oh yeah, so that's where you discard the mouse event and you just pass on the let's not put a space here. That's where you just discard the mouse event. And what's this error? Here I have a string. It's a double reference. Can I do this then? I need to write, yeah. So emit arguments to this method are incorrect. Expected string found string reference string slice. Okay, yeah. So yeah, let's just to string this. No, not to owned, to string. And I'm missing a parentheses. Ooh. OnClick is moved here. Variable moved. Yeah. What are you complaining about? Captured outer variable. Yeah, but I'm returning it. Oh, because you captured it. And then I use it there. I guess I can do this. I can't. Yeah. So what's the problem here? Move, handle. Do I need to clone this callback? Is it a good idea to clone a callback? Yes, because there I'm in so can this be move? No, it can't. Is it the same error? Yeah, so onClick is moved here. Variable move due to so what is it complaining about? Is it onClick? But it's not supposed to be a problem. Move due to use enclosure. Captured by this fn mute closure. Yeah, well, you have the right to capture it. Okay, let's just try the clone way. Okay, so what do you... I'm cloning this, so you don't capture anything. But is it the... Is it this the problem? No, it's not. Variable move to use enclosure. Move occurs because onClick. Yeah, onClick is moved here. Captured outer variable. Captured by this fn mute closure. I guess this doesn't have anything to do with it. That's an that's another time slots dropped here while still borrowed. Bird value does not live long enough. So if I do this, so maybe that's the problem. So I can't do this, but then time slots needs to be cloned. Which one do I need to clone? Is it here, maybe? No, that wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, it creates a temporary value which is freed while still in use. I guess so. But I don't care. Still in use, okay. Okay, let's see if the use of the for keyword here is the problem. So here I do HTML. This is the map, and I collect in HTML. This doesn't solve anything. Okay, boring errors. Fun. Binding time slots declared here. Time slots that iterate. Yeah. Bird value. Argument requires that time slots is bird first static. Now I don't care about it. So this would mean that name. Maybe the name .toString is not fine for him. Let's clone it too. Let's just. I like to debug these by adding a handful of clones and see what fixes it. No, this. So can I clone it now? Temporary value is free at the end of the statement. Yes, well, that's the point of it. This is giving me a hard time. So can I do this? So let's declare time slots to be time slots.clone. Maybe unexpected token. Yeah, because can I rest? Can I? Can I? No, I can't just. Maybe I should do it outside of this HTML closure. Just generate the HTML outside of the closure of the HTML macro, and then So yeah, use it, yeah, because he doesn't want to hear this. So let's say, let's do the same thing, but here. Let's yank that, paste it here, and here. So we iterate over all the time slots. And this will be, let's call it time slots HTML. So for each time slot we have its name, we have this and this. We don't need this. So let's get rid of this too. And here, let's just oh, well, what am I doing? Okay, let's just remove this and use time slots HTML here. Is that better? No, of course not. It's not. Of course it's not. But maybe it will be clearer to debug. So here, bird value does not live long enough. So let's do the same as with the... Because no, I don't borrow anything. I really don't borrow anything. But oh well. Let's do the same thing as with the closure and let or maybe I should have a vec of strings then? Well, I'd prefer not. I prefer not to. Yeah, because that's static. Oh, but I will have strings in the end. I won't have. Yeah, I won't have string slices. I will have strings in the end. So maybe that's the problem. Let's try this. So that'll be a bit verbose for now, but in the end it's going to be loaded from an API call, so it will be strings and not string slices. Maybe this will make it a bit easier. Let's try that. Argument required. Yes, this changes the error message. But now the name is binding time slots declared here. Time slots bird value does not live long enough. So you borrow here. Argument requires that time slots is bird for static. So is it the name that is bird? Which argument? It's pointing to the HTML macro. So that's probably the name here. So do I need to clone this name then? Maybe it's this one. Heard that same slots. But No, but it says that it should be borrowed for static. So if I do this, because as I understand it, name is a reference to a string. So this will make, so the argument is a reference to a string, so this with the pattern matching will make, but that moves it then. Oh, so this moves it. Okay. So that may be the problem, but then, so then, do I need to dereference? Expected string found yeah, because that dereferences it. So I need to. Oh, that's ugly. That's ugly, but I need to clone the string. Wow, this is really not helping me. Argument requires it. Okay, can I do this iteratively? So let's declare this as, okay, what can I do for HTML new? Yeah, of course. For enum vnode. Oh, let's just use an empty HTML. Ooh, what's that? HTML nested. What is that? I've never seen this. This macro is similar to HTML, but preserves the component type instead of wrapping it in HTML. That macro is useful when, for example, in a typical implementation of a list component, let's assume it's called list. In a typical implementation, you might find two component types, list and list item. Only list item components are allowed to be children of list. You can find an example implementation of this in the nested list example. In many cases, you might want to create the content dynamically. If you use the HTML macro instead of HTML nested, the code would not compile because we explicitly indicated to the compiler that list can only contain elements of type list item using child renderer list item, while HTML creates items of type HTML. Yeah, but I don't care here because it's not children of a component. So yeah, no, I don't care for this. Let's just call, can I do empty HTML? Okay. And can I append HTML to it? Because if I can, that's yeah. No. Let's find an example of how would I do this? You list example. Ooh, or let's say button list. Yeah, so that's the doc that I was reading, and that doesn't help much because these are very simple. These don't tell me how to generate HTML. how yeah, they don't really render HTML. So let's see what this guy does. Oh, well, that's old, but well, it may work. Text component, okay. This doesn't seem to help much. There are no lists in this. Let's check out the code. Maybe what examples are there? Yeah. Do you have? Yeah, to do MVC, but that's a bit big for what I keyed list. Is there just list? Node rest, password strength, portals, routers. No, there aren't any lists, I think. Oh, function to the MVC. Let's check this out. Yeah, function components to the MVC using function component. So there's this entry. Well, I'm not here for entry. Components here is just this, and well, let's look at main. So you have state. That's great. Okay, n then make callback. Well, I don't. Oh, yes, that's for the reducer, I guess. Yeah, that's for the reducer thing. Okay, so that's there. Oh, cloned here on the iterator. That's what I want. Cloned here. State.entries.iter. Here he does a little filter, and then once he has all the entries he's interested in, you clone it. You clone them on the iterator, so then entry here is the cloned item, and then it shouldn't be, it shouldn't cause much problem. State.entries. Well, he uses this, but state.entries. Here I don't have this. Let's check this out like this for now. Well, this is better. Clone. Yeah, I don't need. No, not clone. Name. But I don't need to string. Okay. Let's check out how this works. Okay. Move here and oh, here it moves it in the, yeah, so let's clone it here too. Yeah, value used here after move, but oh, do I need to move here? Do I need to use move here? I think I do. Yeah, because then on click. Yeah, because then it's on click who's arguing. This is really giving me a hard time. because I cloned the name here, but it doesn't see that I clone it. It just, because it moves name before I get a chance to use it here. Okay, so what can I do for this to work? Maybe I could... Oh, but... This is really awful. But let's test a way. Let's create a clone. So that we can use it here. I definitely don't need to string because it's already a string. What do you mean? Am I missing a parentheses? No, I'm not. Oh, there. Yeah. This here, maybe. Okay. Now, what is it? Closure, closure. This closure implements fn once, not fn. The requirement to implement fn derives from here. Closure is fn once because it moves the variable name clone out of its environment. Okay. This is hard. So can I do name.clone here and use name clone here then? But then there are two clones and that's not huge. OnClick is moved here. Okay, I'll take a break here. I just need to take a break. This is really a hard problem, always boring, and all this in Rust. So let's. I'm going to take a break here. Okay, so I've made a quick pause, and I don't have any more idea of how I'm going to fix this. But let's keep looking. So I was looking at this code, and this. Here there's no problem with the entry, but it's because it's only given once to the component. So I wonder if I were to make the time slot button a component of its own, then maybe I wouldn't have so much of a problem with this. Maybe I would. I don't really know. Let's check how it's done here in the entry component. So you have an entry which is an item, which is a state entry. So that's very clear. And I was checking it. I think there's a description string in the entry, but I guess that's only given once. Props.entry.completed. So that's where it's checked. Label on double click. Edit toggle. Edit toggle. What's that? Use bool toggle. Use bool toggle. What? Oh, so that's a hook they've made. Okay. Set the default value to false. As the default, we are not editing the entry. when we want to edit the entry, we can call the toggle method and use bool toggle handle, which will trigger a re-render with the toggle value being true for that render, and after that render, value of toggle will be flipped back to its default. What? Which will trigger a re-render with the toggle value being true for that render, and after that render, the value of toggle will be flipped back to its default. We are relying on the behavior of onBlur and onKeyPress to cause another render so that this component will render again with the default value of toggle. Well, okay, that's fun. Okay, so that's on double click, edit toggle, clone the toggle. Okay, I guess. Well, it's not entry edit. Okay. But there's is editing equals edit. Okay, well that's a bit convoluted, but let's I don't care about this. Props.entry.description here. Yeah, but that doesn't help much, does it? What's this? Oh, so it blurs the. Okay, this is great. This is a new error screen from Trunk, and it's quite clean. Okay, let's start over from a clean slate. So here, let's say for timeslot dot iter cloned map name, and here great. Okay, and here I want the HTML macro to generate a div with the name of the button inside of it. So this, and I need to close the, and let's just put this one here. Okay. So this works. We have generate. Okay, so that's a div. That's a button I need. Yeah. So that's a button. So yeah, these are now buttons. And obviously I've lost all the HTML, the classes. Yeah, let's just set this here. I like it like that. So that there's, if we omit this Rust code, the indent for the HTML is right. So I like it like this. So here we generate a button, and it doesn't cause any problem. Can I put the name twice? I can't, because it was already used. So what's the value used? Name moved due to this method call. So that's a bit obscured by the macro, but here it moves it, and here I need to, I don't have it anymore. So I can clone it, and if I clone it here, then there's no problem, and then I can have the name twice. So why can't I do just that? when it's inside a closure. So here on the click, and it's a closure which takes the event, so that we discard here, and we use the onClick, and we emit. So let's emit just a constant string now, for now. So we need to use string from here. Okay. So this doesn't work. Because unclick borrowed, and then it's not. So unclick needs to be moved. So that's what this says. I think. No. Okay. Unclick is moved here. Yeah, well, that's what I want. Okay, but variable move due to using closure. Move occurs. Oh, because it's in a loop. Then maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem, because this is done in the loop. So obviously, on the first iteration, the unclick will be moved, but on the next iteration, on the next item of this iterator, it will not be there anymore. So can I clone it? I can't just clone it. So that's what's bugging me, because as with the name before, I should be able to clone it, but I guess I can't. That's a callback. But can I, here in the closure, well, okay, let's do this for now. Oh well, let's not care too much about indentation for now. Let's say onClick calls onClick.clone. Can I should I clone closures like this? Maybe I shouldn't, and I need one more curly brace here. But it works. It does work. Well, it compiles at least. Okay, so it makes sense that this is a problem. It makes sense that you need to clone this this onClick closure. So let's not clone it here, obviously. But it makes sense that you have to clone it, because you need one. So I hope there are references. I don't know. Does it say you clone callback? You clone callback. An RC wrapper is used to make it clonable. Okay. Great. Okay. So I can clone this. So I can clone this and then emit it with this. So now I just need to replace this with the name, and that's going to be tricky. Okay, so what's the error exactly? So the error is that the closure is fn once. So that's not that's not the kind of error I want, because yeah. Okay, well, let's check out what happens if I clone it here. It doesn't complain. Okay, so it doesn't complain about the moving of the environment thing anymore, but maybe that's just because it has this error before the other one. I think if I do this, I will get the same error as before. Yeah. Closures if and once because it moves the variable name clone out of its environment. So I would need to find a way to have... What do you mean it's... Let's check out this error because that's the... I think that's the first time I encountered this error. No. Will I be able to... Yeah. Closure is... So, what does this say? The phone code works fine. Data equals data clone. Callback equals move. Data.iterative for each. First, when the closure is constructed, data is moved into it because the closure is declared as move. Yeah. That's why you need to clone beforehand if you want to use data again outside the closure. Then later, when the closure is called, iter is a method that takes self. So data is not moved out by the method call. It's borrowed and the closure still owns it. Thus, the closure can be called as many times as you want. It automatically implements fn and not just fn once. Okay, this makes sense. Here, when the closure is called, data is moved, used by value, not by reference. In the first case, it is immediately dropped. In the second, it is moved into the local variable x. Yeah. If a value is moved out of a closure, then the closure only implements fn once and can only be called once, because if the closure were called a second time, it wouldn't have that value to use anymore. Okay, so this works here because data.iter takes a reference to self. So here it moves the clone data, and here you don't move it out, but yes, but here I don't even call any methods on the name. Which part of it is only usable once? Is it string from? Why am I still doing string from? I don't need this. But that doesn't change anything. Closure is fn once because it moves the variable name clone out of its environment. Well, let's keep on reading this. If a value is moved out, then the closure only implements fn once and can only be called once, because if the closure were called a second time, it wouldn't have the value to use anymore. In general, any plain mention of a variable name is a move. Everything else is specific exception. If the value implements the copy trait, well, you don't have this. If you call a method such as iter or lock, the method can take self or mute self. Oh, so it is because I don't have any. Yeah, okay, but it's because I moved this this variable name, so I can call. But if I call clone on it, it doesn't solve the problem. That's what I don't understand, because if I clone it, oh, ooh, ooh, okay, but I can do this on clone. I can't. Well, okay, so clone. So I can use close, and I should use close in here, because it doesn't move the value of the variable into the closure. But still, I can't do this because the variable is moved. But then if the variable is moved, why aren't you complaining that it's took out of its environment thing now? Value moved into closure here. Well, it is moved, but it is cloned. Or can I do something like this? Just like, no, because, yeah, but that doesn't make any sense. No, well, I guess, yeah, but then, so I need to clone. Wow, this is, because there I have 2 clones. I shouldn't need to have 2 clones. So here I clone the string, and here I've got a closure, so I move my clone I move the clone inside the closure, but because I just clone it here and not move it out of its environment, once the closure is called, name clone is still in its here. Well, let's do this for now. I don't like that one bit, but well, it's going to have to work for now, because it works. Well, it works for now. Let's see how this works with using the state here. Okay, it doesn't complain for now. Does it? Okay, it builds. So let's show the selected time slot here for debugging this. So format. This is a string. No, this is an option. Selected. time slot. Can I do, no, not this, definitely not this. Okay, something like that. No, yeah, that's what I want to, like this. And option string doesn't implement display, so let's just set this like that. Okay, selected none. Let's maybe, yeah, just add this. Can I do that? Yes. Okay. Some M1, some M2, some S1. Okay, great. Should I commit this? Should I make a commit? Okay, well, that's really an ugly solution, but it works. Should I commit this? Let's name this a little better, such as on click, or maybe time slot on click. Yeah, but no. Let's leave it at that for now. Okay, so this works. And what I was saying, so if id equals selected time slot, if so, can I compare it like this, or will it complain because I'm moving it? Because then if I click on the time slot that is selected, I would like to set selected time slot to none. Else I wanted to set the new time slot. But can I compare it like this? Here, missing a curly brace. Yeah, no, I'm moving it here. So what can I do? Can I do select the time slot dot and is some end? Returns true if the option is a sum and the value inside matches the predicate. Yeah. So is sum and selected equals ID. Can it move out of dereference? Okay. There's ref. And wait, what? No. What is asref doing here exactly? Do I really want this? So to borrow the type's contents, move occurs because value moved due to this method call. Cannot move out of dereference of this, so I can't even dereference it like this? No. As ref, but this, so just like this. Okay. So if I click on M1, M2 S1, M2, and if I click again on M2, it goes back to none. If I click on M1, S1, I can change this. Great. Okay, let's show this in the on the button. Let's not commit it for now. I'm just I'm going to show it on the interface on the button with this time, but I need to make a pause for now. Okay, I'm back. So what was I saying? Yeah, let's just put some style on the button. So here, should I? Well, does it make any difference? Not really. Okay. Here. So class equals classes. So I put before I put px for py2 bg red 500. That's kind of an ugly color for this, but oh well. And rounded full. Let's see what this does. Okay. And now let's put a ring around the button if the if it's selected. So yeah, I think something like this. So ring 2, ring 4. Okay. Let's just say, so if I put ring, so that's that will be conditional, so okay, and it doesn't shift things around, so that's great. That's definitely what I want. Maybe that's the purpose of a ring, just not moving things around instead of contrary to a border. I don't know Tailwind enough for that. But for now, we have a ring. It's ugly blue, and it's always here because I need to add the ring. So let's go to the U documentation for this because I know they talk about this. So we can have multiple, we can have this, we can have a vector, and we can have an array. And okay, components that accept classes. Oh, can I? Optional? Okay. Fill that then. Is it a boolean? Is it a boolean? That would be great. Bool then rust. Ooh. Wow, that's fancy. Okay, then some, then, and that's okay. So I think it should be then some. Where was I? Okay, yeah, then some. There's a maybe the example is a bit old because there's this function for doing this. Yeah, 1.62 is a bit it's a bit new. Okay. So I should. So and on what condition is this? It's let's define this condition here. It is selected equals and it is selected if selected time slot. Can I deref that? It's selected if selected time slot equals name. No, you know, that's the same condition here. Yeah. That's this condition. Typo, what? Cannot be dereferenced. That makes sense. Okay, no, so yeah. And no ID, it's called name here. Although time slot would really be a better name. Yeah. It's really time slot. And so this would be time slot. I'm still not at ease with NeoVim here, or Vim for that, so sorry if I'm being a little counterproductive, but that will have to work for now. Why? Yank this and paste it here. Yeah. Okay, and that's time slot. Okay, and now we can use is selected then some ring. Great. Wow, that works wonderful. We don't need this anymore. Let's commit this. Then I can select time slots now. But I really should have committed even before. But yeah, no, that's not a problem. So let's add everything and say client add selectable time slot buttons. Okay, well, that's an hour and 45 minutes of programming, and that adds 3 buttons. Well, not exactly 3 buttons, but well, that's progress at least. Should I think I'm gonna stop for now. And I think I'm going to stop for now. I'm just going to do something else because that's good progress for now for me. and maybe I'll continue tomorrow. I'll probably continue this tomorrow. Okay, well, goodbye.